Hello viewers, welcome to our channel. Today we will discuss the different budget myths that you could still be holding on to, why they matter, and how to unlearn these myths for financial independence. I hope this video will be helpful and thank you for subscribing to our channel. In our previous video, we discussed the definition of a budget, we looked at categories of budget, and we discussed why budgets fail, and we looked at methods that you can apply to minimize your budget failure. There are many reasons why people budget, but the main reason is for people to gain control over their finances and also reach their financial goals faster. Many of you have misconceptions about budgeting that prevent you from achieving your financial goals. These budget myths can range from harmless beliefs to harmful practices that can sabotage your savings, investments, and debt management. In this video, we will debunk some of the most common budget myths and explain why they matter for your financial well-being. We will also provide some tips and strategies to help you overcome these myths and create a realistic budget that suits your needs and preferences. There is a common belief that budgets are a form of self-deprivation. The myth is confusing intention with restriction. One of the most deeply rooted myths is that a budget is all about saying no. It's easy to imagine a budget as a rigid framework that cuts out fun spending and limits your lifestyle. But in reality, a good budget isn't about restriction, it's about intention. A well-designed budget simply tells your money where to go based on your priorities. If travel, eating out, or hobbies are important to you, they can absolutely have a place in your spending plan. In fact, budgeting allows you to spend more freely because you've already accounted for the essentials. You don't have to feel guilty about spending money when you know it's already part of the plan. Another myth is only those struggling or bad with money need a budget. The myth is confusing struggle with lack of strategy. The truth is everyone can benefit from a budget regardless of income level. Even high earners can find themselves living paycheck to paycheck without a plan in place. Lifestyle creep can quickly eat up your income if you're not intentional about where it's going. A budget helps you align your spending with your goals, whether that's paying off debt, saving for retirement, building wealth, or just being more mindful with money. It's not about struggle, it's about strategy. For many people, budgeting is considered to be a time consuming activity. The myth is that financial strategy has to be boring and dreary. The truth is, once you set up a system, maintaining a budget takes much less time than you might think. In most cases, you need only 15 to 30 minutes a week to review your spending and make any adjustments. And with today's budgeting apps and tools, the process is easier than ever. Many of them sync with your bank account and track your spending automatically. At the end of the day, the small investment of time is worth the peace of mind that comes from knowing exactly where your money is going. I'm sure many of you think that a budget never works because things always change. Life is unpredictable, expenses pop up, plans shift, but that doesn't make budgeting pointless. A budget is a living document, it's not carved in stone. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting perfection. If you overspend in one category or something unexpected comes up, you can adjust. That's the beauty of a flexible budgeting system. It moves with you. Rather than trying to predict every detail, focus on building a budget that includes buffers for the unexpected. That way, your plan is resilient even when life throws you a curveball. Many people approach budgeting with a mindset of reduction when it is actually about cash flow. They focus on what they have to cut or give up. But budgeting isn't about trimming expenses. It's also about understanding your cash flow and making space for what matters. Sometimes that means cutting spending, but other times it means increasing your income or shifting priorities. Budgeting gives you clarity on what's possible and how to make trade-offs that support your bigger financial goals. In other words, budgeting isn't a tool for saving money, it's a framework for better financial decisions. There are many people who believe that the financially prudent or those who are good with money or math do not need a budget. But being good with money and having a budget aren't mutually exclusive. Even the most disciplined spenders can benefit from a plan. A budget helps you to move beyond simply avoiding mistakes. It helps you to actively pursue financial goals. Whether you're saving for a home, planning for early retirement, or funding your child's education, a budget is your roadmap. Without one, it's much harder to measure progress or make intentional choices. Many people believe that a budget needs to be complicated for it to be effective. In fact, the best budgeting systems are simple and sustainable. You don't need to track every shilling or have dozens of spending categories. For many people, a high level budget using a few broad categories is enough to stay on track. The key is consistency and regular checking. If a budgeting method feels overwhelming, it's okay to try something simpler. Whether it's zero based budgeting, the 50-30-20 rule, or using an envelope system, the best budget is the one you actually stick with. Freelancers, business owners, and commission based workers often assume that budgeting is off limits because your income fluctuates a lot. However, budgeting is just as important, if not more so, when your income isn't predictable. The key thing is to base your budget on your lowest average monthly income or a conservative estimate. When you earn more than expected, you can use the surplus to build up savings or cover future shortfalls. With a thoughtful approach, you can create a buffer that smooths out the ups and downs of variable income. There's the belief that budgeting kills spontaneity, but a good budget includes flexibility. By setting aside a portion of your income for fun or discretionary spending, you can still enjoy unplanned dinners, weekend getaways, or impulse purchases without throwing off your entire financial plan. Budgeting actually makes spontaneity less stressful because you're spending from a place of confidence rather than uncertainty. There are many people who believe that once you set a budget, you're done. Your life changes, your goals change, your incomes and expenses change. Your budget will change too. The most effective budgets are reviewed and refined regularly. That might mean making small adjustments month to month or completely revising your approach once a year. Think of budgeting as an ongoing conversation with your money. When you engage with it consistently, it becomes a tool for empowerment, not a source of stress. Many people think or believe they are too inexperienced or that it's too early for them to start budgeting or that they need experience to start budgeting. This can lead to missed opportunities in establishing strong financial habits early in life because the truth is it's never too early. The principles of budgeting can and should be taught as soon as someone begins to manage any amount of money, even if it's just an allowance or part-time job earnings. Starting young instills a sense of financial responsibility and awareness, laying a foundation for more complex financial decisions in the future. The last misconception around budgeting is that many people think that budgeting is a personal matter and does not affect others. They believe that as long as they can manage their own finances, they do not need to worry about how their spending or saving habits impact their family, friends, community, or society. However, this is a common misconception that can lead to serious problems in the long run. Budgeting is not only a tool for individual financial well-being, but also a way of expressing one's values, priorities, and responsibilities towards others. How you budget your money can have a significant impact on your relationship with your spouse, partner, children, parents, siblings, friends, and colleagues. Budgeting also affects your community, such as your neighborhood, city, or country, through charitable donations or for taxes. Budgeting also affects your society in that it can influence your culture, nation, or world. And the last one, budgeting. Uh, if you invest wisely and intentionally, you can not only improve your own financial situation but also make a positive difference in the lives of others. Budgeting is also a matter of ethics, morals, and values. Budgeting isn't about limiting your freedom, it's about creating it. When you push past these 12 myths and approach budgeting with clarity and intention, you gain control over your financial life. You are no longer reacting to your money, you are directing it. If you have been avoiding a budget because of one of these 12 myths, consider giving it another look. A budget doesn't have to be perfect, it just needs to work for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful and that you have taken action to improve your financial journey. I hope this video has guided you in the right direction, and let's see you again in our next video. Please make sure to subscribe and to like this video. Thank you so much. Bye.